Yay! Okay, so this is our first episode of Twin
Talk.
Talk. Cheers!
Yes, we are so excited to be here with you guys. So we're going to sort of break down what this podcast is going to be about, how it's going to work, what kind of journey we're going to take you on today.
Totally.
I'm Stevie.
I'm Tealana.
And we're twins, obviously. And right now we live in Jersey City, and we're actually going to talk about our jobs a little bit. Eventually, we're going to do a little segment called Circle Time, where I talk about, my life as a preschool teacher. And then what segment are you going to be doing?
And then I'm going to do closing time. I'm a waitress at a bar in New York, and so, I'm just going to try to give you some good old stories. There's always a crazy bar story to go around.
There is, and a lot of life lessons to be learned.
Yeah, that's very true.
We're also going to hit up some reviews. We love watching movies. We love listening to new music. So we really want to hit you guys up with our opinions because we're very opinionated. And,
yes.
we always like talking about how we feel about stuff and seeing how other people feel. And we really want your feedback. So, please put in the comment section below, like, how you feel. Do you disagree with us? Do you think we're right? Are we pieces of shit? You know what I mean? Like, whatever you think, we want to know because we don't want to be closed-minded.
Well, yeah, and we want to have a conversation. That's what's so great about having a twin is that we're able to, talk stuff out. But then sometimes we get into our own little bubble, and it's we got to know everybody's outside point of view because we do agree on a
lot of things. And there are some things we sort of disagree on, but yeah.
Yeah, totally. So, first off, if you're wondering what we're drinking... So we are doing a little taste test. Stevie's student's mom.
Yeah, so I did a little dance recital for my kids. I teach dance. And one of the moms brought me a bottle of wine as end of the year gift. It was so sweet. And we just wanted that to be the first thing we tasted, tell you about. It's a Rosé Brut, so it was perfect because we're going to be reviewing The Bachelor and The Bachelorette. We're not too into reality shows, but for some reason, we're just obsessed.
Yeah.
And with that and Dancing with the Stars. So You're definitely going to get all the reviews and all the hot topics about that. So if you're excited about The Bachelorette, yesterday was the first episode of Katie Thurston's season, and we are definitely going to get into it.
Oh, we are definitely going to get into it.
We're getting into it with our rosé.
That is true. Because... Chris Harrison today was officially, did you see this in the news?
Yes,
Chris
he was
Harrison
officially
was fired, or I never read any of the articles, I just saw the headlines.
I need to do some research.
So, my understanding is that he's fired. I don't know if he decided to quit or if he decided, just to say peace out. It does suck because what I was thinking about last night when we were watching The Bachelorette was that Caitlyn and Tayshia are just a good little fill-in addition for this season, but they don't stand to host the show. First of all, it's way awkward when both of them come out to do the "This is your final rose" or when they said in tandem, they made it cute in the show. They were like hee hee. But usually Chris Harrison is
Chris Harrison just has a flow to it. He really guides you. And to be fair, he's been doing it for so many years. And
he's the staple. I'm sorry to interrupt, but he's the staple of what, people are I'm not going to watch without Chris Harrison. And it's these shows fuck with your mind.
Yeah.
These shows fuck with your mind. They make you believe this is reality when this is not reality.
Let's be honest, people. It's
not necessarily scripted, but they mold you. They make you. They take away your phones. I mean... We're actually watching torture when I think about it.
I
don't want to think about it. I don't want to think about it because I love The Bachelorette
It is torture. They don't get their phones. In Bachelor in Paradise, they're not even allowed air conditioning.
Exactly.
So that's why they're all sweating their asses off all the time.
Producers go up to you and they're like, you should, they sway you. They sway you.
You should do this. Have one more drink and then do this. He really likes you. Go tell him you like him back, even though everybody knows that he doesn't like her and she's just going to make an ass of herself. They make you... And it goes back to what we were going to say, too, is Katie Thurston is really cute, and they made her look like a goddamn Barbie doll. And it really upset me because her entire thing is, girl power and feminism and all of this stuff, and I just feel they took this, like, girl next door. Like, is she drop dead gorgeous? No, but, like, she was cute. She had a personality. She was cute. I thought she was pretty. And then they just dolled her up, and, like, she has orange spray tan.
Yeah.
Like, it was just too much. Like, I just felt like when they went into her, you know, her little standstills and her little promo videos and stuff, like, she looked a little bit more natural. Like, she looked dolled up for sure, but she looked a little bit more natural, and I thought she looked, okay, a little glow up, but, like, they glammed her up, and, like, I just didn't feel like it was like herself. She didn't look like herself.
Look like herself. And
so I do have a problem with that with ABC. Bachelor in general.
Right. Yeah, we critique things, and we definitely gossip about it, and we bitch about it, because, like, we love it. We love it.
Exactly.
We like that we find, not problems, I don't want to say problems, but it's nice to have somebody that, you know.
Yeah, like, can connect.
I just like talking about it.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I mean, I
just like talking about the flaws.
Exactly. Exactly. Right. Not even in a negative way. Just like, I don't know, pointing them out.
Totally.
I don't know.
Yeah. No, I agree. So I think
there's a word for that, probably.
Right.
We should look it up.
Well, basically what I'm trying to say is I feel like I feel like we went off on a tangent a little bit, but going back to Chris Harrison and how people get mad at other people when they're like, I'm not watching the show anymore because Chris Harrison's not on it, and they're like, boo-hoo. It's just, they said the same thing with Dancing with the Stars, and it's like, no, but it actually changes the show.
Exactly,
like,
to its core.
Chris Harrison was the only constant that you watch.
Yep.
Bachelor as a whole needs a strong, steady host. That's why it's probably going to crumble.
Yeah.
And they're like, you can just get a new host. Look at Dancing with the Stars. Dancing with the Stars is crumbling. There was a lot of other factors that were probably helping
going
it crumble.
into it, but Tyra Banks fucking sucks.
Oh yeah, Tyra Banks,
and that's a whole other can of worms to open up once Dancing with the Stars comes back.
But when you get rid of Tom, who was the structure and the constant of something that's ever so changing, people need constants in their life. People need something to stay the same, or else there's chaos. And guess what? There's chaos.
People don't thrive in chaos. Most people don't thrive in chaos.
Exactly. So that's the problem. That's the problem with getting rid of Chris Harrison. Did he say things? Yeah, whatever. But like Rachel Lindsay went on a podcast and, stood up. As far as, this is just what I heard, that she went up and she stood up for Rachel after this whole thing. She was like, yeah, well, Rachel needs to, because Matt pulled a whole shenanigan about how he was cheating on her, seeing other people, and she gave him an ultimatum. And she said, you need to, work on yourself. I'm working on myself.
Yeah.
And that's my ultimatum or whatever. And he was like, okay. And so now they're working on themselves together or whatever.
Yeah.
But, Rachel stood up for Rachel Kirkconnell in that moment. So it's people have changed their minds about people. She might still be upset about... She's obviously still upset and has the right to be upset about... this whole thing about race that revolved around Rachel Kirkconnell's season. But she can still be hey, listen, there needs to be a constant.
Yeah, for sure. I completely agree with that. And I also think that it sort of goes back to everybody was saying, you gotta have time, you gotta have grace and all this stuff. But the second Chris Harrison defended even the slightest Rachel Kirkconnell, that was it for him. He was out. It was over. Bye. Technically they just said today that he's fired, but come on, we all knew. We all knew that he was gone forever for the show. They were never going to bring him back.
Yeah.
They were never going to bring him back.
Yeah, exactly.
So, it's just, you can believe what you want to believe, and that's how it is, and that's how it works.
Yeah.
And that's how it's always going to be and always going to work, obviously. But, I just think that I agree with you. Chris was the staple of the show, and I liked Tayshia. I liked Tayshia personally. I really loved her season. Yeah. And I like Caitlin Bristow. I think
oh my God, when Tayshia was when they couldn't open the wine bottle, and what did Tayshia say? And I was just yes, I need that kind of energy in my life. She said...
She was like,
don't freak out. She said, don't freak out, because I feel like I'm in Caitlin in a lot of situations where I can't
open the wine bottle.
And especially with her being on camera, I just feel like she's very uppity, and Tayshia's just she's really chill.
She was like, calm down, don't freak out, we're gonna open this bottle. And then it spilled everywhere.
And then it spilled everywhere, but she has like
which happened to us. So it comes full circle.
Yeah, totally.
Side note, when we were opening our wine,
it's like champagne. It's not, I was like, why does this have a cork? Like
we're drinking
cork,
rosé
like a
champagne.
champagne cork.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And it spilled all over, so.
It just... But anyway, so yeah, Bachelorette, I'm really interested. We're in a bracket, and we had quite a few people join, so it's super fun. It's just through the Batch bracket on ABC, and it's super fun. I got some points. Did you get any points? What were your points?
I'm in third place. Fifth place.
I think I'm in third place.
And you're in third place. I'm in fifth place.
Yeah.
So, it's always a little slow if any of you play any sort of Bachelor Fantasy League. I don't really love how the points are set up. Yeah. But that's a whole different story. We'll have to do a whole segment on just the Fantasy League in general, because it's a whole other beast.
That's true.
From The Bachelor.
Yeah. Who was your favorite guy?
Okay, my favorite guy. I mean, of course, like everybody, Greg. Mm-hmm. That's his name, right? I mean, he has the sweetest face.
Greg.
Like, how could you not like that little face? He's so cute.
Yeah, Greg is very cute.
I thought John was very handsome.
John, yes.
Yeah, he was like the tall Asian dude.
Yes. And she really thought he was handsome.
And she thought he was handsome too, because she even said, and I think her mic was on and he heard her or like something. She was like, oh my God, that's my type. And he like looked back and they had like a little moment and smiled. But I only got 1 point from him. He after that little moment, they never really aired him again. So, but he's in a lot of the previews. So he's going to be there for a hot second at least.
Yeah, probably.
Because they show the previews. And I did like Connor...
The cat.
Dude. I can't remember if he's Connor B or Connor M B, or whatever. But the cat dude... it was a little too many kitty puns for me, but I thought he was sweet. He's a nice guy.
Yeah. Like, to me, like, I know he was just, like, doing the whole act, but, like, once you start licking your hand and acting like you're fucking an actual... I don't know.
Yeah.
It's just not my jam.
It gets to a point where I felt a little fetishized.
I wouldn't fetishized, exactly.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't find that attractive.
Mm-hmm. But maybe Katie's into furries. Who knows?
This is how rumors get started.
Oh, God. Sorry, Katie.
Yeah, she just really likes cats, I think, man.
Yeah.
She's like an animal lover. She's like, she liked the sex blow-up doll. Like, that's not my vibe.
Yeah, like if somebody would have come in with that, I would have been like, bye, door, please.
Yeah, like that's just not my vibe. Yeah. But she obviously liked it, like, because she's she liked all the sexual innuendos. Like, she seemed to really enjoy that. And you know what? In their defense, like, most everybody was pretty good with them. There was nothing raunchy. I would say I was nothing nervous trashy. That the first episode was going to be raunchy.
Yes.
I thought it was going to be raunchy.
And it was pretty classy.
But it was pretty classy.
It was pretty classy.
With everything that still happened, even with the sex doll and, like, just everybody saying all these sexual innuendos to her. I could get past it.
Exactly.
But I was
completely
definitely
agree.
fearful. That was, I think, my number one biggest fear going into the season was that I thought especially the first episode was going to be raunchy just because she's the vibrator girl.
Exactly. And I'm happy it wasn't. I'm happy it was classy.
I'm so happy.
Yeah.
Me too.
We need to talk about, as a nation, why they keep doing these awkward... I'm just walking through the forest naturally, like, little, like, I get it, they're fillers, you're introducing the contestants, whatever, but, like, you can really tell that these guys are, like, nervous, they don't know what to do with their hands, they're, like, falling off, like, one guy even sat on the thing and then fell off, and I'm like, you aired this? Why would you air that? Like, it doesn't look good.
They don't look, this group of guys are not actors.
Yeah, by any means. Which might be good, because then we might be able to see if they're genuine or not.
Right, because, like, there was a lot of them where I was like, oh, dude's straight up nervous.
Yeah.
Like, you could tell he was nervous.
But when they do those beginning, like, long, like...
And it seemed, like, genuine.
I don't know what they would put in place of that. Like,
right.
I'm not here to say what will be in place in that. I'm just here to say that I have a love-hate relationship with it, because I love it, because I hate it so much, because it's so awkward and so uncomfortable that I'm like, I guess I sort of love this. Like,
yeah, well, I mean, that's how the whole entire show.
You're right. The entire show is sort of like that.
You know what I mean? We love to hate it. That's why Bachelor Nation is a nation, and everything eventually crumbles, or at least comes to an end.
Yeah.
But, you know, we have to be realistic that probably in the future, maybe not in the near future, maybe it'll be a very, very long time, but in the future at some point, Bachelor is going to be either something completely different from, and that's how it's changing into right now. It's changing since they got rid of the constant. Mm-hmm. They're going to go through chaos, and either they're going to find a new constant, just like fucking America's Funniest Home Videos. Yeah. They have constants, you know. And it's like, did you watch this era? Family Feud. Did you watch this era of it? Did you watch this era of it?
And soon to be Jeopardy, hopefully.
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. So they just need to find, okay, you're going to fire Chris Harrison. Okay, who's our new constant? Because it's not going to be two girls shooting the shit with another girl. That's fine for this season.
It can't. It's too chaotic.
And
it's just a little too much. Like, I can get behind it, but if it keeps up the way it was last night, I'm afraid by like episode 3, I'm gonna be like, it's gonna be two different shows. Fucking giggling. Like, and we were even talking about this last night. We were like, we hope that they don't try to start making it about the hosts. Like, you know, Tayshia and Caitlyn get in a cat fight. Like, I haven't heard any rumors about that, so I don't think that does happen. But once you start making the hosts like, I guess, a part of the show.
Yeah, and girlfriends and gossipers and...
Exactly. It becomes... and that's the problem with being her friends. Exactly. Then it ends up like, you never really know if, you know, it was Tayshia's decision for the guy that she picks, or if she was influenced by these women. Not that Chris didn't talk to people, but... I don't know. Yeah. It's definitely going to be interesting how it's changing. I just feel like this entire year was just a shakeup mentally, physically, emotionally...
Yeah.
In TV, in life, like...
Yeah, I agree, 100%.
So, it's the age of Aquarius, man.
Damn.
Like...
Well, I'm excited for the next episode. Mm-hmm. I really don't know what's going to happen. I mean, they'll go on a first group date. Yeah. But they show you, like, the what's to come, and there's so much information that comes out at you.
And half of it is like, from, edited. Like, episode 9.
Yeah, or it's, like, edited in a certain way. Like, there was a very clear point in one of the commercials where... you could just tell, like, sometimes they can get away with it and you're like, oh my god, is that guy crying? And then it's like, you know, like in Tayshia's last season, they showed her, you know, crumble over crying, and they made it seem like she was being left, and both guys, whatever. But in that moment that actually aired, she was crying happy tears. Like, she was bent over crying because she was so happy that Zach was there, or Zach said something, I can't remember. But in this upcoming commercial for the season, I don't know what guy it was, because I can't keep track this early on. There's
too many men to remember their names.
To remember, but they very clearly had a guy crying, and to me it looked like they were like on a group date, and you know, maybe he was like in pain, or like he hurt his ankle or something. It seemed very much like it had nothing to do with Katie and everything to do with the activity, but the sound behind it was a hysterically sobbing guy that obviously has had his heart broken, or he's about to break a heart. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, I knew that it was a tease. Or it was not a tease, but a fake out.
It was a fake out.
And I will say, I don't know if we're just getting better at reading the fake outs, or if Bachelor, or the people that are editing this shit are just becoming lazier and worse.
Yeah.
At doing their jobs. Who the fuck knows? I don't know these people.
We should look up if they changed producers.
People, but maybe they just are not good at their jobs.
Yeah.
Or maybe they're like, or maybe, I don't know. Maybe it's always been like this, and now we're just realizing it because we've watched so much and we've critiqued it, and we've literally taken things as little as this. I'm sure people notice this if they watch it as intensely as us. But I don't want to say a normal person, but a person that's not fucking like crazy into the details like we are, that are just like, I'm here to watch the show because I think they're gonna find love, you know, and that's just like beautifully
curated, you know,
by the whole entire spectacle. They're probably not gonna notice that.
I agree. That's why they do it, like, because the majority of people are literally, let's be honest, the majority of people who watch The Bachelor think it's real.
Probably, yeah.
Like, they think that this is all real life.
Yeah, they could, yeah.
They do.
Yeah, you're right.
I think they do.
There are hardcore, there are people, I'm sure. But just not with anything, you know?
Yeah, with anything. Like any reality TV show or any sort of, you know, anything. I mean, it is what it is, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Damn, well, I'm excited for next week's episode. And we'll definitely be breaking it down.
Yeah, there wasn't, I will say I liked the episode, but I didn't feel like anything crazy amazing happened. But I didn't feel like anything like bad or cringy happened either. So it was just like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I would say it was like a solid 7.5.
Yeah, like it wasn't...
Like it was a good standing show. Episode.
Right. Like it wasn't necessarily memorable. Like it was just standard. It just
and I
seemed
hated
very
Katie's
standard.
dress. It didn't fit her.
Yeah, so weird.
Like, who put her in that ugly ass dress?
Yeah, she's too cute to be wearing that dress. She looked good in the dress.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's cute. She has a cute little body.
Dress was not good.
The dress just wasn't good. And on that note, I think it's time for...
Okay.
It's time for circle time. So, what I wanted to address in this circle time today is bullying. And I am actually very upset, and I haven't told you this story yet.
Okay, what happened?
Did I tell you the story? I don't think I told you. So
serious.
I know. I was really upset. I was really upset because, you know, and you know what? I think it segues nicely from Bachelorette because Katie was all about like the not bullying and
totally.
blah 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 blah. So I wanted to talk about bullying on my circle time this week and get your opinion on it because I always used to think before I was a teacher, like, kids are inherently good. Like, children are born good. And you know what I mean? But, you know, ever since I became I've been a preschool teacher. Well, I've been working with kids for forever. But I've been a preschool teacher, like, in a classroom for 5 years, 4 years?
Well, probably 4.
4 years. So, like, I've been with a lot of different kids. Plus, I teach the theater, and I teach the dance classes, and I teach Zumba. Like, I teach music lessons. Like, I do a lot of outside activities for children. So, like, I'm around a lot of children.
Right.
And I feel like I've noticed that bullying is just something they do. Even if it's like... Even if it's like something that it's like your name, like let's say I'm Ethan and you're, or you know, like.
Yeah. Okay, you'll be Ethan and we'll just call them Kathy.
Kathy, okay. And Ethan will be like, my name's Kathy. Your name is not Kathy.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But they say it in like a mocking tone.
But they say it in like a mocking tone, like it's mean. It's malicious and it's mean.
Okay.
And they're just trying to get like a rise out of them. But it's more serious than that, what I'm going to tell you.
Okay.
So I had a little boy.
Oh, God, I'm nervous.
And he came up to one of the girls in our class who is nonverbal.
Okay.
And she had her shoes off. And this little boy just came up, looked at her foot, and then just stomped on her foot.
Stop.
And then ran away laughing. And I was just like... That did not just happen. That did not just happen. That little boy didn't deliberately go up to this poor little girl who can't communicate like the rest of her friends.
Yeah, peers.
Her peers. And doesn't act like the rest of her peers.
Right.
You know, and just maliciously stomped on her foot and then ran away laughing. You know?
That's crazy.
And it's just, and they're 3, they're 4. Like, they just turned 4. Like, it seems so malicious to me. You know what I mean?
Do you think, like, he sees, like, that behavior at home, or do you think, like, he's just being boyish and he thinks it's funny?
I honestly think he's just being boyish and he thinks it's funny.
Right.
But my question to you is that innately inside of them, or is that, like, a learned behavior, or...
I think they're just seeing what they can get away with.
You think so? I mean, I think so, too.
I think there's a lot of different factors, because... I don't want to think, like, every single little kid is just, like, programmed to, like, be evil. Mm-hmm. You know?
Yeah.
Or like
no, and I don't want to think that either. Like God, like we would never get through life if like people were programmed to be evil. But I just feel like almost like this, like I have to be bigger and better, you know, than you. Like that instinct must like live in us, you know.
Well, I think it does live in men, and I think it does live in women.
Yeah.
Like I think
it's just crazy to see it at such a young age. You know?
Yeah.
They're finding out their personalities.
Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
I don't know if I consider it
bullying.
Bullying. Because I feel like bullying, I feel like bullying is
intentional.
Bullying is intentional. Like, he's a little kid. Like, I don't think he realizes, like, he's not connecting the fact that, okay, this is hurting somebody else. He's just like, look at me, I'm a boy, he. I'm gonna show you how big and strong I am, and I'm gonna show you that I'm, you know, I'm the man. Like, not saying that's right, like, but like, who knows, he could be brought up in a way that's like, you're the man, you're in charge, like, when you grow up, like, you have to be strong, you have to be in charge. I don't know, they're 4.
Yeah.
I don't know what these parents are like.
Exactly.
But at the end of the day, I feel like there's probably a lot of stuff, he probably saw somebody else do it, and he wanted to see if...
Yeah, there's so much that goes into it.
Who knows what they don't even know what they're thinking.
Yeah, exactly. And it's crazy because I can't even think back to when I was 4 and be like, okay, well, this is, I mean, like, 5, 6, like, when you start, like, really having, like, long-term memory.
Totally.
But, like, that's more just, like, almost like I'm watching, like, a home video of myself.
Well, that's
like,
why
I don't feel like in my body
that you see, when you have a kid or whatever, there's that saying that's like, I'm relearning the world through your eyes or whatever.
Yes,
because you literally grow up twice.
Wow.
And that's why I don't want kids, because I don't want to grow up twice. I'm still growing up.
Oh, God. And aren't we all growing up? You know, it's so
People
crazy because we're going to turn 30, and it's just like, how? Like, how did this happen? Like, you know that meme that's like, I know, right? Let's take a drink. You know that meme that's like, when you need to ask a grown-up something, so you look around for a grown-up, but then you realize you are the grown-up, so you just act like a grown-up trying to do grown-up things? Like, that's how I feel like constantly.
Oh, yeah. I'm like...
I'm just like, I'm allowed to walk around, go to my job, get paid, and live a life. Like, thank God I'm a responsible...
Right.
Like, I'm responsible. I never show up to work late. Like, I'm dedicated. I have a hard work ethic. Like... Thank God I have those things, because if I didn't, and trust me, I know lots of people who don't have those things, how can you just live your life in such chaos? Like,
you need a constant. It's so true.
You need a constant.
Well, speaking of bullying, unless you had any more to say on that.
It's...
Because I was going to say...
Okay, closing time.
I was just going to say... So when I was walking out of work the other day, let me pull it up. I wrote it down because I was like, it was so... First of all, he was in the wrong. It wasn't me. Like, I'll tell you the story in a second, but I had the right of way. This is a traffic story right outside my work. But I wrote down what he said to me because I thought it was so funny. I probably, if somebody would have, like, yelled out the window, hey, fat ass, stop walking, or, like... Hey, you know what I mean? If they would have called me, like, a name where I'm, like, sensitive, or if they would have said something like, you're a piece of shit, or you're stupid, like, I probably, honestly, not gonna lie, would have cried the rest of the way to the train, because, like, I can't have people talking to me like that. Like, I'm a sensitive person.
Mm-hmm.
But he said the funniest thing, and I have to, that I was just laughing, because, so I work on a corner street, right, on 4th and Bowery, at a restaurant called Phoebe's. There's a long crosswalk. It's like, you know, there's almost like a median in the middle, you know. It's really long. But I got out of work, and I was walking. I got to the street, and my walking sign, the little guy, he was there. There wasn't a stop sign. There wasn't a red light. I wasn't, you know, whatever. So I'm walking across the street, and I shouldn't have looked down at my phone. But if you hit me, hey, like...
Yeah. You have ice too.
You have ice too, and like not only that, but I had the right of way. If the guy tells me to walk, I'm gonna motherfucking walk. You know what I mean? So anyway, I'm walking, and then I look down for like 2 seconds to my YouTube because I wanted to put on some music because I walk a mile to the train. So I look down, get some music, and then all of a sudden a car comes like this close to grazing me, and then they slam on the brakes because I was like almost to the other side of the street, and they were coming this way. And he says, "Hey, brainwash, wake up." And then they drive away. And I didn't even know what to say. I just turned around. I was like, "Fuck you." And then I just started laughing because there's nothing really funny about, "Hey, brainwash, wake up." But I just wanted to be like, yeah, but you can't even read basic stop signs.
Yeah. Exactly. Like, at the end of the day, when the walking sign is on, the pedestrian has the right of way.
Even if you can turn on green, you have to wait for the pedestrians.
Exactly.
You have, because I'm sure, I don't know at that intersection, I'd actually have to look, but I'm pretty sure if the light is green, you can turn right. It's not like one of the signs that
exactly.
you can only turn on the arrow.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I'm pretty sure you can turn whenever, but legally, unless I'm wrong.
No, I'm pretty sure the pedestrian always has the right of way. Isn't that like sort of the general rule?
Right. Like, I have the walking
I don't know.
dude,
Let us know.
and then you pop.
If the walking dude is up, the pedestrian most definitely has the right of way.
And then he yells out, "Hey, brainwash, wake up." And I'm like, you obviously failed your driver's test.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
I mean, didn't we all a couple of times? Those things were like hard, but like for dumb reasons. Like,
so true.
So when I got my driver's license, I was 24, and I thought I would just have to go in and, like, you know, schedule a test and then come back for the test or whatever it may be. And then they're like, "No, go to that computer." And I'm like, fuck, I gotta take the test. So I take the test. I fail it, obviously, miserably. So I leave. I study. I study all of the, you know, facts, like, blah, whatever. You know, the traffic signs and the whatever, like, what everything means. I go in, and every single question they asked me was like, "How many points do you take off if you get a DUI?" And I didn't study any of that stuff. I mean, maybe I'm moronic. I don't know. I just didn't study any of that stuff. I studied, like, the actual, like, when I'm driving a car and I see a bus stop, what the fuck do I do? You know,
that
like,
shit comes later. Just don't drink and drive.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you.
Then you don't even know how many, you know what I mean?
I don't need to know how many points are going to be taken off my fucking driver's license because I'm never going to drive drunk.
Don't speed in a school zone.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So anyway, I go back. I fail it again. Go back a third time. Finally pass it. Cool. Everything's awesome. But I forgot the whole point of my driver's license.
Well, we were talking about how that guy called me brainwash and how he obviously couldn't read the sign because my light was good to go. Like, I have the right of way.
Oh yeah, for sure. So that was totally fucked up. But you're right. He probably failed his driver's license test.
Yeah. Exactly.
Oh my God.
Which I guess now that I'm thinking about it would make sense because he actually, the driver stopped, so he was in on the whole let's fucking tell this girl,
yeah,
you know, that she's a dipshit kind of thing.
Yeah.
But he was in the back seat of the driver's side with the window rolled down.
Yeah.
So that was probably his fucking Uber. So he probably did pass. He probably failed his driver's license test.
Fuck.
I don't know. That was just, I just thought it was a little funny. It really has nothing to do with the bar. It was when I was leaving the bar. Mm-hmm. It was closing time for me, and it was a nice day. Now it's fucking hot.
It's so hot. If we're sweating, please forgive us. Like,
it's hot here.
Like, if you're watching the video version of this, it is hot as Hades in here.
It's really hot.
It's humid. It's just like the air is still, but we're doing it. We're drinking a wine. We got it. Woo! Have you watched anything good?
Yeah. Well, okay. So I've been trying to watch like Netflix, you know, like the top 10. It's obviously the top 10 for a reason. I don't know how they do the top 10. I don't know if it's about, I don't know if the person who's watching has to be, well, I guess not. I guess it would be about how many times somebody has watched something.
Yeah.
They have to have a whole bunch of algorithms. I know nothing about computers, but they have to have a whole bunch of algorithms of what makes something the top 10.
Of course.
I'm assuming.
Yeah.
So in the top 10, the very first thing for the last couple of days is a show called Sweet Tooth. And I didn't really know what to expect. Kind of like, you know, the commercials, like, he's like half deer, half human. I don't know.
Yeah.
I feel like if I had like a 10-year-old or 11 or 12-year-old, like a child, niece or nephew, and we wanted to watch a show together, I feel like it would be a good show to watch with them.
Okay.
Like, I could get through. It's not that it was bad. I watched it all. Like, I watched it all. But there was just some weird things. Like, sometimes, just like the editing style in general, like, I feel like sometimes there wasn't a main... You know how, like, when you watch something, you're like, oh, that person filmed that. Like, you did whatever.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt kind of all over the place. Like, there was some times when the character would, like, there was one episode where a character had a flashback. But no other characters have ever had flashbacks before. And it was so late in the season.
There was no, like,
that to me, it was like, oh, fuck, we want this to happen with the story, but... Oh, shit, we need to know why this character is doing this because they never gave that evidence throughout the script. It's a simple script. It's a very simple script. It's very in your face.
Yeah.
Which is fine because it's obviously...
For children. Like, for adolescents.
For young adults. So the script
teens.
can't...
Tealana.
The script can't be
She almost spilled her wine.
The script can't be too... intense for somebody younger not to be able to understand.
Yeah, it's like a picture book versus like a novel. Like children read picture books because they can relate to the picture and then add it to the words.
Exactly.
You know?
So yeah, I would say if you had like a young child, like I said, nobody's. I mean, people are, but you know, other people that are just watching something for fun, they're not looking in it as intensely as I am because you know I'm looking at.
Well, we're looking at everything. Things. We're looking at the direction. We're looking at the script. We're looking at the acting. We're looking at the way it was, just produced in general. Like, who is it made for? And we do a lot of that work. You know, we direct shows and musicals and stuff like that. So we just like getting to the nitty gritty of it.
That's true, and that's exactly what it is.
Exactly.
Yeah, totally.
But what you should watch, well, we watched together. What you should watch, and go watch it right after this is. And watch it again if you've already watched it, is the Burnham special Inside.
I'm going to probably watch it again tonight.
It
was really good.
Amazing. I mean, it got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes.
I mean, it was really good.
It was so good. He edited, wrote it, produced it, wrote all the music. All of the lasers and the lights and the sound and everything was him. He locked himself inside of a room for over a year and filmed himself. And it's incredible. But what's crazy about it is like you can literally see his mental health disintegrating before our eyes, and that's another thing. It's like, is this torture? Like, are we watching somebody being tortured right now? Like,
yeah, but sometimes like good art is torture, man.
I know, and he seems like a very tortured person.
He's a very tortured artist.
He's like the true definition of a tortured artist.
I agree.
But I mean, damn, he gives good content. Like,
every
single twitch, every lyric, every eye roll, eye look, every camera angle, like
costume. He did this all
costumes, it had a fucking purpose.
And it just goes to show how much.
Which is funny because he even says that he has a problem with making sure that every single line he writes, he says this in his special.
Yeah.
He says, I have a problem with every single line I write. I need it to be like profound and you know, just out there and like thought provoking. And it's like, well, dude, you did it. Congratulations.
Yeah.
Like, your dreams have come true because you literally do that.
It was an intense special.
It was intense, but damn, man. I mean,
it was good. He straight up does. Like, it's hard for me to look at him as a comedian.
I agree.
That's the thing is, like, he calls himself a comedian, but in my brain, like...
He's an artist.
He's an artist. Exactly. And I feel like an artist is, like, comedy is just...
a subculture of...
is under the umbrella of being an artist.
Mm-hmm.
But he does so much more than comedy that it's hard for me to call him a comedian.
Label as a comedian. Yeah.
And it's like, the comedian. And I'm like, what? But hold up. And I feel like that too. Like, I was watching I was like, okay, this last special is really good. I'm going to go back and watch some of his other specials.
Uh-huh.
And so when I was going to bed last night, I was watching his one he did in 2016. What was it called?
Happy or Get Happy or...
Yeah, I think
something.
It was something like that. Happy was
the
first word that came to my mind, but it was something like a word like that. And I was watching it, and you know, you could tell the audience doesn't know, like, really with
the vibe.
him, a vibe, where the punchline is, how he's going to react. Like, sometimes, like, I remember he said this joke, and he said something about Kendrick Lamar being a great rapper. Mm-hmm. And everybody was like, yeah, and they're clapping. He's like, how dare you fucking clap for somebody else at my show? And then the audience was like,
yeah.
You know? And it's like, I can't even tell if he's joking or if he's like
being actually serious.
Being serious, but like, I like watching his shows from a distance because my emotions would get so twisted watching him live because he's so, I don't know.
I think it'd be fun to see him live.
I think it would be fun if I was like he doesn't do a lot of like calling out.
Yeah.
But if I was just like in the back where like I don't feel like forced to like be in when he's like, everybody in the crowd raise up your hands if you're a hot chick.
Yeah, like, I don't like participation things.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to participate.
I'm trying to watch a fucking show.
I want to be a fly on the wall. Don't fucking talk to me.
Yeah, I would love to see a show in real life if I could be a fly on the wall.
Exactly. I don't like participation shit. And I get why they do it. Listen, I get why they do it. But it's just not for me. It's not for me.
Yeah. But it was so good. It was so talented. But yeah, I guess I wonder if, like, now that I'm thinking about it, we just like watching things where people are being tortured.
I guess, maybe.
God, we guess we learned something new about ourselves. I'm like, God damn, like, literally, like, The Bachelorette,
Burnham. What's next?
Sweet Tooth is just over here, and I'm like, it's okay. And it's because, like, nothing bad can happen.
Does nothing bad happen in Sweet Tooth?
No, like, bad things happen. But, like, listen, like, bad things happen, but it is written for a younger audience. So, like, adult shit doesn't happen where you're like, oh, fuck.
Yeah.
Like, this is some real shit. You know what I mean? It feels very, like, you know, they try to make it, like, it's about a virus. I was watching it. I kind of was half-ass watching it. I'm not going to lie to you. I was doing my makeup series and, you know, stuff like that. When I went to bed, I would, like, watch an episode and then I'd fall asleep and have to find where I was. So, like, I probably didn't give it as fair of a chance as I should have. Mm-hmm. But the stakes, even though they try to make the stakes seem high, it's like Marvel. Mm-hmm. It's like, I'm trying to, like, think of, like, not an adult film, but a film where it doesn't feel like it's also for kids. Mm-hmm. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I don't know. Nothing's coming to mind.
Nothing's like, but you know exactly what I'm talking about, right?
Well, and also because I feel like they're not really making content like that anymore. I feel like even children content is like weirdly sexual and vulgar and
everything's kind of,
you know, everything is sort of
the adult content is going like this and the kids content is coming here, and then all of a sudden it's going to be like everything for every age, and it's just going to be like this weird new genre.
Yeah, especially with the internet and everything is so readily available.
Well, and that was
you
my
just
thing
hand your kid a cell phone and they can look up whatever they want. Here's
the thing. This was one of my problems. Is there like a game happening?
Yeah, there's a game. I don't know if you just heard Pasquale, my boyfriend.
He just cheered for something.
He cheered. I don't know.
This was one
sports.
Go sports.
Woo!
This was one of my problems, and I don't know why it irritated me so much, but it really fucking irritated me, was that, you know, this is a show for kids or whatever, but then the third episode is called
it's called like
it's called Weird Dear Shit. But it's like a kids thing, so they don't say shit, so they like,
it's like the asterisk.
It's like the asterisks. he says shit in the show. Like this one guy, I won't give away like any details, but he's like, you know, the adult, or not the adult, but like he says shit. And he says bad words sometimes. You know what I mean? Like, he's one of those. Like, if, like, a kid is watching, it kind of gets them excited to make them feel like they're watching something adult.
Yeah.
But just, like, I don't know. Say
it's
shit.
Weird,
like, it doesn't have, it felt very, like, we're gonna call this episode Weird Dear Shit.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like, it just felt... Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense to me. Does it make sense to you?
I don't know. I could just be talking. I know what I'm trying to say in my head, but that's the problem is it's hard for me sometimes to articulate what I'm trying to say. I see it. I literally see it in my brain, but I can't get it out in words, man.
Sometimes I feel like that too.
Yeah.
Let us know if you guys ever feel like that.
Yeah,
because
totally.
we don't want to be completely crazy. So my wine is all done and it's hot as fuck in here.
I'm sweating bullets, man.
Yeah. So I think that
we progressively just went, and our hair
is like
getting flat. Our faces are getting red.
Guys, it's not looking hot in the Headspeth place.
Oh, but I'm really excited for next week. For The Bachelor, we'll kind of bring you the same kind of setup.
Yeah, we're going to do our circle time, our closing time, our review. Sometimes it'll be music, sometimes it'll be movies. And we're always going to talk about The Bachelor and or Dancing with the Stars, which is our favorite show ever.
Love it.
Can't wait till it comes back. So thank you guys so much
for our
first podcast. I'm really excited. Make sure that you like and you subscribe to our channel.
Yeah.
Make sure you check out her makeup videos because they're amazing.
Thanks, Steven.
You're welcome. Tell everybody how they can find them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, I wasn't prepared for this. I guess you can just find me on Instagram.
She's really good. She's really good.
Tealana. Right now I'm doing a fruit series. So today I just did a pineapple look. A sweaty pineapple look because, man, that shit was coming off faster than I could put it on. It was the makeup look itself,
yeah,
if I was like in an area that had AC, would have probably only taken 30 minutes. Like, it really wasn't necessarily a hard look. But I just kept on sweating off the makeup, and then I'd have to try to dry my skin, and then, like, you know, reapply the makeup, and it was just getting to be a fucking mess.
We gotta get, like, some sort
I gotta
of
figure it out.
fan in here or something.
People do this. Like, I need to follow people and look up people, or somebody can suggest, like setting spray or something that's, you know, like, people sweat, and their makeup fucking stays on. Mm-hmm. I need to do more research. But... I'm kind of lazy.
Oh, no. Well, you just do a lot.
I do a lot. And I'm not lazy. I'm actually
she is not lazy.
I'm actually not lazy, but I want things too quickly.
Exactly.
That's my problem, is I don't want to have to, like... I have a problem with progressing. I just want everything to be perfect all the time.
Exactly.
And I have to, like, take a step back, because it's like, not everything can be perfect.
Not everything can be perfect. Not everything is going to be perfect all the time.
Exactly.
You know?
That's just one of my...
And if it was, it'd be boring.
That's true.
So...
It's just something I'm working on.
Yeah. It's just, something you got to work on if you feel that way. So, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, make sure you comment. Tell us what you liked about this episode. Give us your thoughts and your opinions on what we talked about. Like, we really want to hear from you guys. So, let us know, and we'll see you next week for Twin Talk.
Yay! Oh, God.